I know it does.
All right.
Yay.
Oh, you know what? Take this one out.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday. You okay?
Next level.
Next level.
All right. Ryan, the question: 2017 Chevy Cruze hatchback, non-Bose.
Okay, go for it. You might be able to use the Ampro GM 61.
61, yeah.
If they list it for your car,
Yeah, you gotta go to the site, Pack Audio.
pack-audio.com. If
Yeah.
they list it for your car, meaning if it'll work on the Bose system, it'll probably work for the non-Bose system.
Probably.
You just got to flick dip switch 3.
That's the magic one?
Yep, so pack-audio.com, take a screenshot right now, and there you'll go.
All right. Active rear or passive rear and active front?
Active front, passive rear.
There you go. Like that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, totally.
Active front, passive rear. Who cares about the rear? It's just there to fill in and make noise and...
Make everybody happy?
Hello from Vegas. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday show. We hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Boy, next week is going to be crazy.
Why?
Well, Monday we have the Facebook show. Tuesday we have the video watch party going on at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time right here on this channel. We will be watching and doing this with the kicker.
Yeah, unmask.
No, that's on
that's
Friday.
That's on Friday.
So Tuesday is the documentary preview. We're at watch party. We're going to do the documentary watch party.
There you go.
Tuesday's documentary watch party. You guys get to ask questions about it, tell you behind the scenes things that are going on. So that'll be super cool. We'll do a little picture-in-a-picture gimmick, eat some popcorn, have some fun. Wednesday is nothing. Yeah, I know,
Wednesday's
right?
nothing.
Thursday is Vega and my show. Polarity check, chalk, reverse polarity, something with polarity. Friday is the Kicker on Mask event at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on either Kicker's Facebook or YouTube channel. And then Saturday, we're back here again doing this.
Oh,
so we got a lot of live next week. We hope you guys have an open schedule. That's all I got to say. Sue's like, what day are you off next week?
None.
And I go, Wednesday. And she goes, oh. I go, why? She goes, well, I'm leaving Wednesday. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I need rears. I got passengers, unfortunately. Oh, totally. I mean, I'm all with you there. Why wouldn't you need rears? I'm just saying, though, it's for ambient effect. It's for, you should be in the back seat and be able to hear the rear speakers. Mm-hmm. But when you're in the front seat, you shouldn't know they're there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the reality is when you turn it up, the fronts will still be louder. The rears will still be making sound, if you'd like. However, if you have a DSP with 2 presets, one is for rear seat party and one is for front seat party.
That is correct.
There you go.
There you go. El Fernando, what's up, brother? Thank you so much.
So, anyways, let's get it out of the way because it is the first part of the show. Before I forget, before we get carried away with all the fun and excitement that is this show, let's head over to the laptop where we get to look at AudioControl, both home and car audio. But either way, AudioControl is the sponsor for, I was like, where the hell did we go? Is the sponsor for this week's show. We'd like to thank AudioControl for participating and supporting our show.
That is right.
And AudioControl has a new product that they just released. If you caught it earlier this week, they went on, Matthew and Chris, and talked all about it. And we went on to Instagram and we're like, look at these guys. But they have new stuff. It's just finally shipping. And it is the best, simplest, high-level to low-level adapter you will ever find. And what I mean by that is when I say simplest, it's a high-level to low-level adapter in its simplest form. It doesn't have any EQ or anything like that. It's literally high-level or line-level. What that means is so if you want to use it as a line driver, you can. Mm-hmm. It has load resistors built right into it. Right it has remote turn on in. It has GTO, which is DC offset, and it has the new feature Signal Sense, which it'll look for the AC signal coming over from the sounds. It has their ground isolation that they've had ever since day one.
Right.
The nice thing about this is if you buy it today and you put it in and you decide to get an aftermarket radio, no problem. Chances are good that your aftermarket radio doesn't have a hot output unless you bought something like an expensive XR Kenwood or something. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. You can use
this as a line driver so that you can get nice, good sound out of it. You don't have to turn the gain up on the amplifier super high. Yeah, that's a prototype. But right here, we have how it's going to come to you packaged, nice and simple, hanging on the shelf, just like our fine rack behind us, filled with all the goodies that is AudioControl. You have the LGDs, which you don't need to buy when you buy this because it's built in. That's what that switch is for. So you have the blues, the greens, and the grays built in. And then the good old faithful right there, the LC2i Pro. So if you are concerned with bass roll off, then you can get into an LC2i Pro. Otherwise, the LC1 is going to be a staple for sure in all installations coming now because it is a very, takes all the fun. You're done. You're done. You can turn around. Come on back. Come on back. It takes. Anyways, check it out. If you need a high level to low level adapter and you don't want to go crazy, great value. It's now available. So hit them up. Pick yours up today. Thank you so much for being a sponsor of the show. Now back to it.
Back to it.
Wow, an O2 Cavalier. I have 4,000's worth of equipment to install. Need inspiration to install. Problem is, I'm not an installer, but I'm handy with what I've done before. This will be Cavalier. Okay. So wish me luck. I'm going to wish you luck. Mm-hmm. Get a tetanus shot.
If you have a garage, well, that's good.
I have not seen a Cavalier that has a dash still in the car. Like the dash did not do well.
Really?
No.
Well,
I mean, you remember the last one we did?
Mm-hmm.
It was falling apart. So if you got one that still has a dash, man, good on you. But make sure you use a smart harness because that was the first car that ever needed a smart harness. You don't need anything special. You can get away with just the LCGM 24, I think.
Yeah.
Just to get the accessory power and keep everything going cool. I hear wait a minute. I hear Sir Mix-a-Lot a lot reference to the quad box demo. What system did you listen to Mix-a-Lot back in the day? That would have been high school for me. I had a Renault Encore, which doesn't exist anymore in any way, shape, or form here in the United States. However, I think Renault still exists over in Europe. It was France. I had, in high school, I would have had various things. So I started out with some JSE 10s. I had some Powell Pro 10s. I graduated up to some Lanzar Pro 10s.
Wow.
Then I had some XTR 15s.
Okay.
I think that was the last system I had in high school was the XTR 15s. Those got stolen. That broke my heart. Then I went to 4 XTR 10s. Mids and high-wise, I've had Peerless, JBL, and then I ended up with Morel. But in high school, I had JBL. I think it was JBL.
All right. What's
I
up, William?
I had some red lines. But anything I could get my hands on. It was high school, man. I didn't have a real job. I was just whatever I could get. I had an Alpine deck, 7909. That was my first going into debt. That was $1,000 that I had to finance, so awesome there. Then I had, so I had some Redline 5 1/4. I think 5 1/4 and switched those out for JBL 6 1/2. Had to build a whole door panel to put them in. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. High school was a blast. I had a first car was a Dodge Omni. We called it the Power Omni. That consisted of a Sony Walkman, a set of Peerless tweeters, and the 2 JSE 10s. As you can imagine, the sound quality in that was amazing because it came with a factory AM radio. So, cassette player was a definite upgrade. And no, there was no amplifier.
What's up, X-Man?
It's amazing how much you can get out of a headphone jack. Go ahead.
I have a 2020 F-150.
Perfect.
Non-amplified system.
Okay.
I have an Audison 8.9 Forza.
Oh, easy.
Which will you recommend using in conjunction with the DFO2 harness?
Okay.
DSR1 or the Maestro AR?
Maestro AR. If you have a Forza, just do the Maestro AR and get the Forza harness for it. So I have no idea which harness it is, although I do have them all. You can get them from either a local dealer or you could call them direct. But there's an Audio 3 harness, an Audio 2 harness, and I'm guessing an Audio 1 harness. So one of these 3 harnesses will allow you to integrate your amplifier into there. Super simple. You don't need, you've got a DSP. See, the one thing that makes the FO2 unique is that all it's doing is it's reprogramming the radio to be 4 volt flat output, and it's just going to go into the input of the radio, or input of the amplifier. So reality is you can use anybody's amplifier. It doesn't matter. It's the one iData harness and thing that happens that it doesn't matter. We've used it, of course, with the DSR-1. We've actually used it with the AR into a kicker amplifier and to the Q-Class 1005. So it's pretty sexy. You will have lots of fun.
Matt, I'm so sorry, man.
What happened?
No, I'm saying. I mean,
every time I call, they tell me to call back at 6
6
o'clock, and no one answers when I call back. Makes me very sad. I will talk to him next week and see what, you know. It just really comes down to how busy we are here. But yeah. Like
he's the only one over there answer the phone calls and do the sales and, you know, talk to the customers also. So.
You had a Camaro 5th gen, but I can't find it anymore on your web. I want to find out what you use for speakers. I didn't use anything for speakers in my 5th gen Camaro. It's still got the factory Boston acoustic stereo in it because, well, I don't have time to put a stereo in it at the moment. I have Morels that someday may go in it if I still have the car by the time I get around to it. Right now, though, there is the giant 10-inch Kenwood radio in it, which we just filmed last week. That's up to see. And there's also an Alpine amplifier in place of the factory amplifier that's in it. So it's doing all that. And of course, that JBL DSP amplifier right there is hopefully going to go in. It was supposed to go in it this week, but we just got swamped.
All right, I got a 2016 Toyota Camry. I want to put a power subwoofer in the back. What's the best one?
I'm sorry, I got caught up in this. I had a Kenwood 706, wasn't going full volume to my 360.
Okay. You can check the Rockford P310, P312, also the P500. It's really nice. You're gonna have plenty sound with those power subwoofers.
There you go.
Yep.
Funny. So we put the Kenwood in my car. Was it 1007? Yeah, or 1057? The DMX 1057 XR.
1057. Yeah, whatever.
Anyways, and I was listening to it for the last couple days, and I'm like, this thing sounds terrible. Like, it was just sounding terrible. So I was listening to NPR because it was like I couldn't take listening to music. I was like, there's no way my DSP is this screwed up just swapping a Kenwood for a Kenwood. And then this morning, I was like, I had some time this morning, so I went in and I was looking through the EQ settings because we restored the radio, or at least I thought we had. It was still in network mode. So front was tweeter, rear was mid-range, bandpass, so I was getting nothing out of the rears. The front was just all treble. And I was like, oh, wow. So I reset it back to standard mode, and it's like all of a sudden I was like, oh, dude. So then I went into the parametric EQ on it and did a little tweaking, and I was like, oh.
All right.
Music again. Yay.
I have a 2016 Durango, non-premium with the 8.4-inch screen.
Okay.
Can I use the iData Link T harness to do the Haley special?
Yeah,
or will be better to get the Ampro CH41 R2?
Well, you don't necessarily need the Ampro. You could also do the DSR-1. So if you don't, with that car, don't play around. You either need to go with an Amp Pro, or you need to go with the iData and the DSR-1, or the iData and the AR and a corresponding iData style amplifier like the Forza, like the Kenwood, like the ARC or something like that. Because what's coming out of that factory radio is just nonsense. and more than likely one of the speakers from the factory is wired up out of phase or has an all-pass filter, and it is just gonna give you all kinds of nightmares things going on. So the smart money is to do some form of an interface into it. Now the nice thing is if you go with the iData harness is super cool. Plus you can do a DSR1 and get it. The DSR1 and the iData harness cost about as much as the CH41.
What about this one?
What, a
No,
new dash?
that's a 2019 and up.
Well, yeah, but he's got an 8-inch in the dash.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to change that radio. I wouldn't change that radio. Screw that. I mean, if you're gonna put a 10-inch in there, then yes, go with the iData Durango kit and call it a day.
But no,
But if you've got an 8-inch, does the Maestro RR2 on a 2015 Sega? Give me no. It does not. There's no. Nope. No.
Christian Harris, he dropped $4.99.
Thank you.
Also, thank you, Fuego, for the $5, man. Is there another site that might have a double DIN dash kit for a 1997 Ranger or something that will work? Cause Metra didn't have anything.
No, it's Metro or nothing on that one. They're the only ones that are kind of going forward with those older vehicles and coming out with solutions. So if they don't have nothing. But, you know, the thing is okay, so if you look at it like this, instead of doing a double DIN, maybe do like a Elevate. Mm-hmm. Because the Elevate is a single DIN back mount, so you could probably do something Elevate. You could look at something like the new Pioneer. That's a single DIN with a 10-inch floating screen out the front, or I think, 10-inch. So
yeah.
So there's a lot of options that give you a single DIN back that you can put a bigger screen in the front of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know it becomes like, yeah, but I don't want to spend that kind of money on that truck. I understand, but that's kind of where we're at.
All right. Scott, aka Civic, thank you for the $2. Is there Christian Harris? He dropped $4.99. Thank you. Is there another? Oh no, my bad. I already read that one. See. Do the Morel 6x9 component fit in a 2012 Ram 1500?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Yeah, but the answer is no. Or no. Yeah, probably no. I don't think so, because that's a big.
It's a big magnet.
Big magnet.
And the problem is the magnet, because where the window actually it's attached, it's in the speaker side.
Yeah.
Right there. So
I would say no. I mean, I don't think we've ever got them to fit. We compare. I mean, I'm gonna go no. If I'm doing a Dodge, I'm going with those Kenwood Excellence, man. We did a Dodge today with those. It sounds phenomenal. It's super cool. I get it. Something more expensive like that would be awesome. Mm-hmm. But it's just, they just don't fit.
Right.
I mean, they're just so big. And Morel has no plans of changing that.
What's up,
now,
Bobby?
if you want Morels, though, like if you're like, I really want the Morels, you can still do a 6.5 and a tweeter, all right? If you're doing subwoofers, a 6.5 and a tweeter is going to sound fine, you know? So I see no disappointment there. If you got your heart set on a set of Morels, just go with the 6.5, the tweet, you know, the normal set, put it up front, and, you know, rock on.
Hi Dean, I have a Pioneer 8200 NEX and an Addison Big One. How can I optical from the Pioneer to the Addison Big One?
You can't.
You can't.
There'd be no reason to.
8200. Yeah. Either.
There'd be no reason to do that. I mean, there's nothing. So the whole optical means you have to have a digital or an analog to digital converter somewhere in the unit, meaning or digital to analog. You have to take what is coming out of that radio, which is analog, and convert it to digital. So that's an analog to digital converter. So somewhere in there, you have to have one of those. Now, Kenwood didn't, or Pioneer, well, Kenwood didn't either. No one's put one in there that's, you know, other than Pack or Stinger. So you'd have to go with some form of an outboard. So you have to hope that whatever it is outboard does a good enough job of taking that analog signal, breaking it apart into digital, and then your bit can then reassemble it. It's kind of silly. There's not that much noise you'd probably pick up more noise trying to convert the analog to digital than you would. It wouldn't make it worth it. It's just not that important. Get a nice set of RCAs out of that radio into that amplifier. Let that amplifier do what it does, and that's as good as it's going to get. Okay, digital is not as exciting as you guys want it to be. I'm going to tell you this right now. It is not as exciting as you guys want it to be. All right, it's not. It's cool, but it's not that exciting. Okay, if you have a radio that has a bitchin' DAC built into it, that's digital to analog converter. That's what you want. You want a good DAC. It doesn't matter whether it's in the radio or whether it's in the DSP.
Yeah.
You just want a good DAC somewhere in the chain. As long as you got one, rock on.
You're rocking.
So,
all right. Hey guys, I have a 2020 Sonata with a Bose system. I want to add a subwoofer amplifier. How do I get signal out and will avoid my warranty if I install it myself?
it will not void your warranty because that's against the law. The dealer can just give you a hard time, but you are protected. There's a cool name for it, which I always forget. But you're protected as a consumer, so let it go. That's not a problem. What is it, a 2020 Sonata?
It's a 2020 Hyundai Sonata.
Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah.
With a Bose system.
With the Bose system.
So the easiest way to do it would just go to the factory Bose subwoofer in the back. So I'm using a key lock off of the factory subwoofer.
All right, cool.
Or, well, you know what? No, I mean, it's already sub, so it's already there. You're just gonna make it louder. Nah, you could use the LCQ one. Yeah, so just pick up an LCQ one. Pick up the LCQ one. Because you already have a factory subwoofer in there. All you need to do is tap off of it. Keep it simple, I'm guessing would be what I would probably recommend. Mm-hmm. LCQ1 coming off of the factory sub into the amplifier. Or, depending on what amplifier you're looking at, get an amplifier that has a good high level to low level built into it. Such as like the, what are the...
What?
What are these? ACM, Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Sorry, it's Saturday, man. Something like an ACM 300 or an LC 800 or 1.800. Those will have these already built. These will have, they're built in, so you're good to go there. You will have to, those two go with external load detection. So probably going to need, if anything, the blues as a minimum, but you may need the grays.
All right.
Stereo Kings Oregon for the win. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jason, what's up?
Shout out to Paul and Jeff Smith. Holla. All right, go.
Do you guys ever use the Ayahuasca test disc for listening?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good disc. I think we're going to give some of those away. Because we still got a bunch of those to give away. I think we're going to do those on the news. I was thinking about that this week. Now that the Morella's over, and we really don't have anyone to fill that void, I think we'll just go through the CDs. Another reason to watch the news show Friday morning at 9 o'clock on Dean and Fernando's Car Stereo Clips, the YouTube channel, is we give away free stuff.
You don't have a cool thing in there.
We gave a bunch of Ground Zero stuff away. We gave a bunch of Morel t-shirts away. And I think we got a couple of Ask a Discs. We'll give those away. No package yet. You didn't get your mug? You got your mug.
What?
Bobby.
Oh, really?
I need a new disc. So the disc, if you're an Ayahuasca guy, the disc did roll over this year. They didn't come out with a 2020 or 2021 disc because the company just sold to a new guy, and he didn't come out with a new disc because so you can still get the current disc is what they're using because he just didn't have time to deal with it. I got JVC.
So when tuning a DSP, do you like to set everything
flat?
Everything flat?
No.
Or do you use some type of house curve?
Yes, we use some kind of a house curve. There's always a house curve. There's always a goal. And the goal changes depending on what we're doing, but there's always still a goal. There is a house curve. Let's just call it that and make it easy. Can I borrow the mouse for a second?
Of course.
Since you're not, I saw something there that I wanted to answer about. All right, 2000. What was it? What year Civic was that yesterday?
Do
you remember? I don't remember either.
Like 10, probably.
Yeah.
Why?
Cause all right, we'll read another question.
All right. Ooh, wow.
Really?
Look at this one. They still have an original speakers.
I don't have an opinion on that one, because that doesn't exist yet. All right, go ahead.
Okay,
Add some. You're killing me. You gotta have air. Gotta talk.
I'm trying to.
You're not talking. No, come on, man. Just pick
I'm
something.
trying to. If you listen to Spotify, which is normalize it, compress. Should you have any overlap?
Any gain overlap? If you listen to Spotify, which normalizes and compresses, should you have any gain overlap? Yeah, you should always. 5 dBs of gain overlap is enough of amounts. Basically, all right. Think of it like this. All right. In the past, everyone had this number on their volume that they wouldn't go past. Okay, so like, let's say your volume went up to 36, and you'd be like, I'm not going to play 36, 30. I only play my radio up to 30. All right. So turn it up to 30, and then you'd be like, oh, this is great, this is perfect. But then, so you'd set your gains to 30, and then you'd use 0 dB, like the distort's right at 30, that's where I'm gonna stop. But then you'd listen to like some, something that was like recorded not as loud. So next thing you know, you're going up to 32, and you're like, oh, I'm up to 32. But then you play loud stuff, you'd go back down to 30. So 5 dBs of gain overlap is essentially you setting up your car with that in mind. So if you're giving yourself, I'm not going to play it at 40, I'm going to play it at 37. So at 37, let's say 0 dB, but I have some room to go up in the volume, and also I know that my speakers will take a little bit of abuse, because everyone wants to abuse their speakers, okay? That's why on a subwoofer you go like -5, -10. Some people guys go -15. And the reason why they do that is because a subwoofer, there again, can handle a little bit more abuse. So that distortion that you're putting into it isn't enough to damage the speaker in the sense that it's not, you're not causing a lot of problems. It can eat it up. It's got a big motor structure. It's got big tinsel leads. It can take that shorting, that crap you're putting into it, and it doesn't affect it. It's made to deal with that. However, it's when you take the 1,000 watt amp and try to get 1,500 watts out of it, that's when you blow your speaker, because you're usually at like -20, -50 dBs of gain overlap. You just got the gain wide open. I put it at 12 o'clock. I only got my gain halfway up. Yeah, whatever. So whether you're listening to Spotify or Pandora or Google Music or iTunes or whatever it is, if that's all you're listening to, set it up for that. So just tune away, and be happy. Like Spotify has or should have, it may, I don't know, find a white noise or pink noise, find a polarity pop. Use your phone. Use your phone to set everything up, and then use some common sense, and you're awesome. As far as the Civic that you were asking about, the 2015 Civic, will that fit in your car? The answer is yes, it will. They make a dash kit for your car that will take a double din. It can angle, it can fit, it'll fit in there perfect. I don't see it being a problem. So if you want to put the 10.57 XR into your 2015 Honda Civic, by all means, go for it. You're going to have a big-ass screen in the dash.
All
Welcome to the Big-Ass Screen Club. There's only so many that are allowed. I'm here now. We are good to go. Perfect. Can we go now?
All right. Okay, that's kind of weird. I have just fitted a new system on my work band, and when I connect the amplifier, I'm getting a lot of engine noise.
Okay.
In the speakers when revving the engine. Do you think it's a grounding issue?
Engine noise is a real pain in the butt. There's a lot of things it can cause. From the equipment, meaning you just bought an amplifier that wasn't built with a lot of noise suppression built into it, to the actual RCA cables you used. You didn't get one that is properly shielded, or it's ran next to something that's putting out a lot of noise, Or yes, it could be a grounding issue, not necessarily where you grounded it, but a grounding issue coming from the car as well as the amplifier. So the car might not be properly grounded. I've seen plenty of vans where there's literally a 12 gauge wire coming off the battery and going to the fender of the car, and that's the ground for the car. You have an 8 or 4 gauge ground coming off your amplifier, you could see where there might be a deficit problem right there. So you might need to upgrade the ground underneath there. The other thing too is, depending on how old the vehicle is, you may have a problem with the alternator itself. You could have a failing alternator. So there's a lot of things to get excited about. Everyone always worries about the ground at the amplifier. Maybe check the ground at the battery too, because it's just as important to have a nice big ground going off to the side of your car. The other thing is the ground behind the radio. Sometimes the factory grounds suck. You have to replace those too. So there's a circle of life there, and all the pieces all have to tick in order for you not to have noise. But something to check. The other thing too is you can take a digital multimeter, check your voltage back at the amplifier, check your voltage back at underneath the hood while under load, and see what the difference is. That'll also tell you whether or not you have a good ground system or bad ground system.
Will the D6-1200 be enough to power a set of Morel hybrids? Planning to go active, and I'm in between the 6-1200 or the DMA-10 with a pair of ACM 4.300s, one bridge on the mids, one on the tweeter and rears. What do you think? Oh man, I kind of.
So if we're gonna go active out of a D6-1200, how is he gonna do rears? Is he doing a 3-way set or a 2-way set?
No, it's a 2-way set.
Oh, 2-way set. Oh,
Yeah,
do the
yeah,
D6-1200.
D6-1200.
Yeah, D6-1200 all the way. Oh yeah, totally. Oh, it's plenty of power to power him. Mark has the D6-1200 powering his 3-way Elate set.
Yes.
So he's using that on the Elates, which is not nearly as efficient as the hybrids. The hybrids are way more efficient, and yeah, it's going to be loud. Yeah. That's 120 by 6. It's going to not be a bummer. What's the best brand performance alternator? That one that Steve Mees is using all the time. I always screw up the name. My brain only remembers so much. But there's some really nice alternators. Mechman, there we go. Thank you. Mechman, they've been making awesome alternators for years and years and years now. So definitely. And let's be honest, if Steve's buying it, you really don't want to tick him off, because he's just going to hate on you big time, and no one needs that grief. Rears, did you just say rear on an active? Well, no, I mean, so active front, so tweeter mid, and then rear, which would be the rear fill. So that would be active front, 4-channel, rear, 6-channel. So that's why I was saying, are you doing a 3-way active front stage? Because then there would be no output for rear, because on a D6-1200, it only has 6 channels and 2 outputs. Those 2 outputs are for subwoofer.
Right.
They could be for anything. It's just a pass-through. So if you wanted them to be, but you would have no other inputs feed, it would just be weird.
If it's that, just go for
then you need an amp for
10,
rear. So
the DMA 10, and then you go,
exactly. Yeah. 2014 Jeep Patriot. Every 6 months I have to replace the amp because they get floor noise. Any ideas? Ooh, wow. So the factory amp, I'm guessing? Every 6 months I have to replace. So if it's a Patriot, what amp are you replacing? I need more information, El Fernandez. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
How do I bypass my factory JBL amp in 2012 4Runner? It's a 4Runner, so basically what I would start with is you got to pull that back panel off to get to the amplifier. Are you going to be keeping the factory radio or getting rid of the factory radio? I'm assuming you're going to be getting rid of the factory radio because it's 2011. There are some harnesses that you can use to integrate into that. It's a 2011, so I don't know if it's that 7992 harness. Basically what I do is I take pictures of the harness that I'm bypassing, and then I go and look at Metra and see which harness they make that'll plug into it. It's not going to be pinned properly, but they'll make a harness that'll plug into it. Then you just repin it in order to do that. But yeah, that's really about it. You might want to check iData too. They might make a a harness. If you're trying to integrate into the factory radio, then yeah, the AP4TY11 or in the 04 is the harness. Yes, there you go, the 04. Oh, yeah,
right.
That's right. So go to pack-audio.com, check that out. Thank you, Jason. You're on point. It's because you're off today.
Oh, yeah, of course. I have a 2016 Ford F-150. I'm trying to run an aftermarket amplifier. What wire harness would I need so I don't have to cut the stock wires? Also, which will you recommend, the LCQ1 or the LC7i?
It's 2016?
2016.
Isn't that iData now? And for replacement, Ford.
Right, yeah.
2016 model F-150 select trim without amplifier, and that would be all right. So what you want for your car for the 2016 Ford F-150?
Yeah.
You want to buy a DFO2 and a DSR1. These two right here. What this is going to do, if you go watch the video we have on the DFO2, go to our YouTube channel, which you're currently on and watching, and type in DFO2 into the search tab. You'll see where we do a Ford Explorer with the DFO2 and the DSR1. This will work in your F-150 and be super cool, super sexy, give you your DSP, and this will cost you about as much as the idea that you were doing. So your factory radio into an aftermarket radio and give you everything you want. So these two will plug in, and this will give you 8 channels of preamp level output that's 5 volts, so you can do whatever you want with. Plus it's got a really cool EQ in it. Just saying.
Saludos, man. A Sinaloa.
Okay.
The first one was an Alpine PDX. Wow.
Oh.
The second one was the M-Class Memphis. That was twice. And it's only the vocals. So it's a Patriot.
I would check the alternator.
You would check the alternator?
I would check the alternator or the battery. It's got to be something going on.
And didn't
with the
have like a
system.
premium system?
Well, I don't know what he has for a radio.
Right.
So, what do you have for a radio? I mean, obviously it's killing it. What are we feeding it now, I guess would be the next thing. The Twitter... What did he say? Oh, there we go. Ah, it took you guys long enough.
Twitter just censored them.
No. Happy 21st birthday, Fernando.
That's right. That's right. Today
You're
is
turning 21 years again.
Yep, 21 today. It's an Alpine.
He's 38.
Oh, see, it has an Alpine system.
There's no reason why any of this stuff should be happening. Check your electrical system. It doesn't make any sense. There's no reason why you should randomly get any floor noise out of nowhere, and it's the amplifier.
It's pulling ground from somewhere.
Could be pulling ground through the preamp. Yeah, check your ground at your radio, because those cars, of course, suck. Check your grounds in your cars. Maybe you need to, there again, we talked about grounds, like I was saying to the other guy with the van, do the same thing. Check your grounds. Check your factory grounds. Those have to, I guarantee you that's what it is. Fernando's timeless. He is, right? I know. Good complexion, good skin. He's got that baby face look. What?
You don't think the low resistors might do something?
No, he's got an Alpine. It's an aftermarket radio. The low resistors only need, you go
It's an aftermarket radio?
He said Alpine.
No, a PDX B9.
No, the radio. He said it was
Alpine.
Okay. Alpine radio.
No.
So we don't have a factory. And either way, if we had a factory Alpine radio, what would it matter?
Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't turn on. You wouldn't be getting any signal without low resistors.
Thank you, guys.
So
yeah, 25. 21st.
38.
I can drink now.
Tonight. Wait till tonight.
Mm-hmm.
On an Audi, you guys did. Where did you get the signal from? Please help. At the amplifier in the passenger driver's trunk.
Yeah.
Over in the back, driver back there. There was a factory amp. If you're talking about the red one, we put the subwoofer in. There was a factory amplifier right there. We just went to it as variable voltage output, so we soldered on the RCAs and called it a day. 2015. Good job. Way to go. 5 years of fun.
Nice. Don't forget, guys, this show is brought to you by the...
Hold on.
One and only.
I didn't know we were changing tracks.
Well, we're halfway.
All right, here we go.
One and only AudioControl. Don't forget this AudioControl. All the equipment has 5-year warranty.
What? Where do you see that?
Exactly. So
it does. Only if it's installed by an authorized dealer.
Authorized dealer. Correct.
Yeah, I was gonna say slow that down.
We are authorized dealers, so if you come and order from us,
have us install. You gotta.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say slow it down. And they do. All right. With that being said, I'll equal this there. They do have some of the best customer support. So if you do have problems, you can call them. If you want to know more about it, definitely check the video we did where we did a documentary going out to AudioControl. We flew out there, Haley and I spent the day at their facility, met all the guys, took you guys for a tour around where they actually build this stuff, and also introduced you to some of the guys that are in tech support. The nice thing is they have the equipment sitting there on their desk, so if there is an issue you have, like a DM810, they have a DM810 right there. They can easily pick it up, plug it in, and walk you through. So
totally.
Great customer service, great warranty, great product. Keeping America working. It's a wonderful thing. And also right now, as we said earlier, the LC 1i has just come out and is available. So if you need a 2-channel output converter with a line driver, super simple. It's got the load generators built into it. It's a spectacular device. If you're looking for the best, simplest high level to low level adapter,
right here. Oh no, it's right there.
Your prayers have just been answered. Pick one up today.
All right, guys. Back to the question. I have 2 batteries. My yellow top in the rear, and on my Stinger voltmeter near the amplifier, the volts show me something like 12.5 running.
Yeah.
But other times 14.3. It's been like that for a few months.
Yes.
Do you have any ideas?
Well, so it really comes down to what do you have underneath the hood. Because if you have one of those cool yellow tops in the back, those are used to be charging at 13, 6, 14 volts. The one underneath your hood, however, doesn't charge at the same rate. So what could be happening if you don't have a relay between the two, a switching relay between the two, you might be having some problems with the 2 batteries wanting to beat each other up when they're not seeing a positive influx of power coming in. If you do, great, and that's probably not it. One of the batteries may be becoming weak. That's something also that happens, like the battery up underneath your hood. If that was an older battery and you added a newer battery to the system, well, yeah, you can get some struggle there. So
yesterday that I was listening to, they say it's really nice when you replace or when you add in a second battery to have the same battery.
Well, the same style battery.
The same style battery, exactly.
Yeah. So
and
like
of course,
if you did a
adding
red
UV
top,
lights and everything.
If you were going to go with the yellow top in the back, because the yellow top is not a starting battery. It's an accessory battery. It has a slower rate of discharge than the red top. The red top is for starting and stuff like that.
Right.
So how it's explained in the brochure is the yellow top is for accessories, kind of like a deep cycle, but the deep cycle is the blue. And then the red top is for start. So if you did a red top under the hood and the yellow top in the back, that would be the matching set for those. Yeah. I don't think it's as important as we were hoping if you put a relay in there, because I mean I've been doing it for years, and I can tell you right now, no one ever buys matching batteries. So perfect world, great. Reality, just so the 2 batteries isolate themselves. If you drive it daily, that's usually not that big of a deal, but if a car sits for any period of time, that's when the problem comes in, especially right now with COVID and people not driving back and forth to work. So your cars are sitting there and they're not being driven as much. You're going to start seeing problems with multi-battery systems where you didn't in the past. So the problem might not necessarily be anything that has ever not been there. It just might be getting exasperated by the fact that you might not be driving your car as much as you used to drive it, so it just doesn't know what to do.
Yep.
I like to match amp hour ratings. That works too.
Yeah.
That P3 is a mean little sub. The P3 is a mean little sub. It's very, very mean. He's not fun on the playground. He walks around. You know, he's very abusive.
This guy, that like that. You guys do understand that people buying AudioControl only is because of you guys, right?
No, I mean, you know, they're a sponsor of the show this week. I mean, we're full disclosure there. We do sell a lot of their product, but as you can see from behind me, I mean, I like a lot of products, man. You know, but
I love it. I love the product.
But let's be honest, they make some really cool stuff. All right, so if you make cool stuff, the Forza, this is one of the coolest amplifiers ever. I mean, my dream amplifier is still that 5.1 Voce. I don't know why I'm not buying the damn thing. Oh, I know why, because I'd never put it in anything. So it'd just be one more thing I own.
All right, so the speakers are Alpine R's, El Fernandez.
Yes.
Did a big 3, replace the alternator.
Awesome.
I'm just thinking if maybe the alternator can be the problem, like
if you
passing a lot of.
Well, if you replaced the alternator, I would.
And run power and ground from the battery, just like you do on the Force.
Yeah. Yeah, but man. It's just one of those weird things. Yeah. I mean, there's clearly something that's doing it. So, I mean, maybe not replace the amplifier, maybe replace the head unit.
Right. Like Dean say, sometimes grab the RCA to aux, plug it into the amplifiers.
Maybe bypass the radio altogether for it. I mean,
bypass the radio.
If we know that every 6 months this is a problem that's going to happen, okay, then if we eliminate the radio out of the source, right, then it should never happen if it's coming from the radio.
Yeah, I mean, you eliminate
granted, you'd have to listen to a phone for 6 months. Oh, damn. But it's something you could do. I mean, you did it forever. Yeah. You did it for like 2 years. So, Moscone 8-channel DSP amp or 4 3-way active front. Yes, that'd be very nice amplifier.
Yeah.
A lot of guys like the Helix too. So if you like options, like a lot of people do, multiple amplifiers that could do that. You have the Helix 8-channel DSP amp. You have the Arc 8-channel DSP amp, as well as the Forza 8-channel DSP amp. So there's a lot of 8-channel DSP amps out there. Actually, also sponsors Audio Fabricate. They sponsor everybody. I'm not gonna lie, they're everywhere. But we actually use their products daily.
Totally, yeah.
So the difference between when we take a sponsorship, okay, like AudioControl, okay, the only reason why we take that sponsorship is because we're professionals, man. We make our living doing this stuff for a living. It's not a hobby, it's a job. This install bay looks like this because we use it every day. You guys see us, we're live, we do all this, we pull no punches, we're here. So if something sucks, I can't get behind it, okay? So when we say something's good, that's because we've used it, we've had fun with it, we've played with it, we've installed it. These are all things that we've done.
And you guys know, every time we have a Toyota, an F-150, or...
These are fun things. Either way, before we get involved with people like that, on that level, then yes, we're going to play with it. If we play with something and we don't like it, well, we never talk about it again. It just kind of fades away. So, want to get an aftermarket Alpine head unit for my car. Would it be better to use the RC output or high level to an amp for a high voltage output? I'm old school and have always used RCAs in the past. No, I tell you right now, the most popular Alpine head unit, if you're looking to do video, is the ILX-W650. No problems using the RCA outputs on that. They're plenty hot. They do what they need to do. And so there's no reason. I would definitely not use the preamp section on that radio for anything at all, ever. No, I would not. I would just use those.
What's up, Miguel?
If it sucks, it comes back. I know, right? Oof.
All right.
Life is hard enough.
On Friday, we talked about Rockville, right?
Yes, in the news. Yes.
Yeah, so Wolf wanted to know if this is going to be the end of over-exaggerating the amplifier numbers.
It will not be the end of fake numbers, Wolf. And here's why. If you really dug into the story, the problem wasn't the fact that they lied about the numbers. Because let's be honest, people have lied about the numbers as long as I've been doing this. There's 30 years back there. No one has ever told the truth, ever. And they will never tell the truth, no matter how hard we beg them to do it. Certain companies will, but other companies won't. They're just like, and they have no idea. Some of the companies don't even know they're not even telling the truth, to be honest with you, because they're not engineers. They're just going by whatever the manufacturer that puts the woofer in the box says it'll do, and then stamp their label on it. I'm sure that's part of what happened here, but it was the warranty issue. That poor guy bought 4 woofers, or 2 pairs, or whatever the hell it was, and did exactly what it was supposed to do, and they didn't want to warranty them out. So that's where they screwed up. Anytime you sell somebody a box, you have to give them a warranty if there's a warranty card anywhere on there. So I like what they're trying to push the story towards, but it's almost fake news because It's not going to. Their fault was we put out misinformation and then we didn't stand behind our misinformation. That's kind of where they screwed up. If they'd have just given that guy new stuff, who cares? You know? And they would have just kept giving him new stuff because he would have kept breaking it, kept breaking it, kept breaking it, kept breaking it. And eventually they would have ran out of stuff and realized that, oh, there might be something wrong here. I mean, when EXO did his video, that was a hint and a half for them, that there was going to be issues.
Yeah.
They should have recalled the product at that point, relabeled it, instead of trying to pretend like, oh no, that was a manufacturing error. No, man, dude, if you got a 600 watt sub, it's a 600 watt sub.
Correct. Call
Call it what it is. Don't call it 2400 watts and try to play it off like you had some shitty parts in there or something. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a chance. I mean, we've beta tested enough equipment for manufacturers, and it's called beta testing though, so when something breaks, it breaks, you know, but it's because it's supposed to. I'm known for breaking stuff. You know, so it's okay. But then we send it back and they fix it and they say thank you because you broke our stuff, and then it's a better product that you guys get. Those guys just screwed up, you know.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
So
sorry.
right
Rant.
there. I have never heard Dina Fernando using the ForceScan.
No. ForceScan, RPM, and any of the Fords they install things on.
So I'm not sure if the ForceScan change our need.
So here's the deal. We have ForceScan.
Mm-hmm.
I have it on a laptop. I have the programmer. I bought all the things to do it. I've sat at home and in my free time, which is very limited, I've watched all the videos on all the cool things that you can do.
Right.
And this is what I came to the conclusion of in ForceScan. ForceScan is something you should do in the privacy of your own home. If you'd like to reprogram your car, you should be the one that's doing it. The reason for that is you may need to flash your car back to the factory preset settings to get some service done, because messing with the data information in your car is a personal thing. And it doesn't cost you that much to do it. It's like $40-50 for the whole thing. The programmer's cheap, the application is free, but you can buy the paid for version if you'd like. So it's available, it works, we know it works. If you would like to do it on your car, there's plenty of videos out there, and yeah, go for it. But as far as us as a retailer doing it, and then what that would run into, there again, warranty, we have to warranty it. I didn't want to get involved in that, because if you take your car to the dealer and they reflash your computer, which we had a gentleman in and they were telling us how they, the shop they took their car to used ForceScan to reprogram their wheels because he got taller wheels, so they reprogrammed the speedometer using ForceScan instead of him taking it back to the dealer and having them reprogram the car so that it would be burned in to the EEPROM, and then when they reflashed the car, it'd be in the computer so they would know. So as soon as he took his car in for service, they reflashed the car and it screwed that up. So now he's got to go back every time to these guys that put the wheels and tire on. I don't want to deal with that. No, thank you. It doesn't sound like any fun to me. So, but no, it's rock on.
Yeah. Tio is gonna win today.
What did he win?
No, it's boxing. Somebody asked like who's
they're a fight tonight?
Win? Yeah, it's a fight. Lomachenko and Tio for them.
All right, let's do this.
Hi,
As we talked about AudioControl enough, as we know,
Yeah.
they were the sponsor of the show. Hang on. Let's go through this real quick. Laptop time. Dina Fernando's Tool Drawer, or DNF Tool Drawer. If you head over there, is a great place to find all the cool tools that we use in our install bay. If you caught our video, Vegas in my video this week, we talked about tools that you use for installation. I brought a bunch from the install bay, consequently left them at home, and didn't have those tools on the next day. Thankfully, as I said there, Fernando has an equal set of our tools. And so that was fine. So we were able to cobble through the day. I was kind of ticked. So definitely head over there and check it out. Also, let's go here.
Yeah.
Yep, hold on. Let me go back to this.
All right. Let me see right here. Any tips for drilling a hole in 2019 Honda Accord?
That's you.
Sport. Firewall to run a 4-gauge wire. Yes. It's on the left side. This is my left side, right?
Yes.
My left side.
Right.
Next to the emergency brake.
Do you have to remove the emergency
like
brake?
right here in the corner.
Yeah.
When you go down, you can see you got the brake pedal right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say like 5 inches, 6 inches. You can see it right there. It's a factory grommet. If you're not, you can drill a hole. Just be careful because the brake booster is actually
right there,
like so close. But yeah, you can drill a hole with no problem.
Teespring/store/5star at teespring.com. You can find the new, right here, these guys, the new hoodies, long sleeve shirts, and short sleeve shirts that have just come out for 2020. Check those out if you want to get them. They're super affordable. You can pick up a t-shirt for $19. You can pick up a hoodie for $35. So definitely check them out. It goes to help support the show. Also, if you want to become a member of the coolest page ever, Fernando, what does your shirt say?
It's right here. You guys want to join? It's a Clean Wire Club. Clean Wire Club.
That's right. So make sure you head over there, become a member of the Clean Wire Club. A lot of you guys have. It's grown to over 20,000 people, which means it's become a lot of fun. A lot of opinions.
Totally.
Yay.
A lot of feelings.
Have
and
fun.
All that stuff.
Make sure if you're going to become a member, you head over and check out the rules, because there are some. I have 2 Nazis that go through there all the time, and make sure that they stick right to the rules.
Hey guys.
Means no crappy pictures.
No, and if you're gonna go crazy, of course, you're gonna get lead, you comment and everything. But other than that, enjoy the page, enjoy the pictures. It's really fun. I'm gonna delete some of them. It is how it is. You know how.
Oh gosh.
Rules
let's all give Fernando a big happy birthday and hope he has a good fun tonight. Good safe time.
Oh
hey,
yeah, guys.
If you're out tonight and you have a little bit too much fun, Uber, Lyft, they're cheap, bro.
Yes, I have my Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, call me. I'll pay for the damn thing if you need me to. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, it's been fun. Next week we got a lot going on.
I don't know if you have Fangdom the Truth.
Yes.
If you can send me the your address.
For what?
I got something. So.
Oh, email me his address. I'm sure
just email me your address. Fernando should be your favorite tool, Dean.
He is.
There you go.
He is.
That's right here.
Duh.
All right, guys.
He's the best backup camera tool I've ever had.
I hate backup cameras. I hate backup cameras. And today was a horrible day.
For a backup camera.
Yes.
And everything else that goes with it.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, next week is going to be off the chain crazy. Live is going to be just popping. Monday, Facebook. Tuesday, here on YouTube, 6:30. Wednesday, nothing. We got videos we got to film, so it's okay. Thursday, Hi-Fi Vegas channel.
Yep.
Friday, Kicker channel.
Unmask.
Saturday, here again. We get to talk about the week. Friday is a double, so in the morning we'll be doing the news. And then later that night, we'll be hanging out at the after party at Kickers. So if you guys didn't know, we are doing the after party after the event. It's going to be us. It's going to be Hi-Fi. It's going to be Big D Wiz. And it's going to be EXO. And we're all going to be talking about what we just learned is coming out from Kicker.
That's right.
Don't worry. It's going to be worth it, guys. You're going to want to make sure you catch this. For one, they're giving away some amazing products. Like the stuff they're giving away, next level, just next level. And you're going to want to stay to the end, because at the end, you're going to be like, oh, damn, no, they didn't. And then, yes, they did. So stay tuned to the end, of course. It's going to be a long one, so make sure you pack a lunch. We're going to sit and watch it with some pizza. We're going to, of course, pop in on Instagram periodically when there's a down moment or two to remind you guys that you should be watching this thing, because they put a lot of money and effort into it.
Thank you,
and
guys.
This is the first time they've decided to head it up and let the consumers like you guys come in and see what's going on. Most of the time it's just reserved for professionals and stuff like that, which is stupid, and they finally figured that out, because, like, really? I mean, we're the guys that buy this stuff, so...
Thank you to AudioControl to be a sponsor of this show. Other than that, guys, thank you so much.
He is. Big friends. Him and Steve.
Yeah, we
They tight, man. They talk on the weekends. It's scary.
We don't hang out because he's over there, I'm here, but...
Hella cool, baby. Hella cool. That's all I gotta say. Alright, guys, listen, you have a wonderful weekend as always. We'll see you back here Monday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time over on the Facebooks. Be safe, be smart. Uber, Lyft, they're cheap. Get one if you need one.
See you guys on Monday, guys.
And if you want to spay and neuter your pet, hey, whatever works for you, bro.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.